Hey everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey and I am here today to share with you how I planned the monthly view in my memory planner. As you can see, I have some supplies from the May 2017 Hip Kit Club Project Life and the scrapbooking kit picked out for you to use today. And I'm going through all of those die cuts that are so pretty. And I'm going through and choosing the ones that I think that it will work with this color palette I've chosen. I want to go with like a turquoisey green, an orange, and pink. And so I'm going through pulling out the ones that will not only match in color, but also kind of get the overall feel that I'm looking for as well. Now I'm going to also play with some mixed media, just a teeny tiny bit of watercoloring. You can see those Prima watercolors down below and they are fantastic. I can't wait to tell you a little bit more about those. Now I am loving a bunch of the die cuts that are included, and I end up with a hefty little pile that I think is going to work really well. Now most of them are hitting that color palette, and if not, they have something else about them that is really special and will really work. Now as you can see, I already printed my photos, and so I have a rough idea of where I'm going to include those. So I'm able to go through the die cuts and sort of place them where I'm feeling like they might really work here on this particular page, which is just that overall monthly view. Now I knew I wanted to create that cluster, that sort of floral garden with the tag and the whole thing that I felt like really worked well together. The Hello Sunshine, that's going to layer with my photos. So what I need to do is I need to go ahead and trim down those photos using my paper trimmer. They're all 2 by 2, and so I plan on keeping 3 of them in the square, but then I also plan on trimming one of those using a paper punch into a circle. So now I'm just getting those all cut up using the paper trimmer, and I'm not actually laying them down quite yet where they're going to go, just getting them down on the page. And then I will, once I have that finished, then add them to the spots where they're going to go on this layout. Like I said, that Hello Sunshine is going to layer with those photos right there. I wanted it to just all be part of the big cluster. So I'm going to have that visual triangle that I've talked to you a little bit about before. So you have the one where the photos are, you have that bottom sort of garden feeling cluster, and then we'll have something a little bit different over on the right hand side, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Now, as you can see, I still needed to trim down the photos just ever so slightly so they fit in the lines of the boxes. And I really wouldn't normally care about something like that. It's a little bit more tedious than I actually mind, but I decided that it was probably best just to trim them down, so it worked out really well. Now there's that circle paper punch that I'm going to just punch that baseball photo out. Since it was an action photo and it was sort of far away, I felt like the photo was really going to be enhanced by having it stand out because it was a different shape. Now, as you can see, I'm all ready to go, and I'm going to open up these watercolors, and they are individual little pots of really super concentrated color. And I've tried one of them out already, and I was in love, so I knew I had to incorporate them somehow. So I'm pulling out the ones that go with the color palette that I want to use, and then I'll need to open them up as well. Now this was the color add-on for May 2017 for the Hip Kit Club kits, and I just can't even say enough good things. I'm going to use my water brush pen, and then first I'm going to put the little samples on the card. So you can definitely see the colors that I'm working with here. And I've got that green already sampled out, and then I'm also going to just continue working on the next colors as well. After I had applied those samples, I was really satisfied with how they looked, and I knew that I wanted to keep it really simple. I was loving just sort of this messy checkerboard watercolor idea I had seen a couple of different places, and I thought it would be really fun to incorporate that over here on the right hand side as well. I am very excited about how these colors came together and really how the overall feeling in is incorporated with the little checkerboard over there, and then it's sort of the same idea up with the photos as well. And I just love it. The colors are fantastic. However, this is not going to stop there. So I'm going to finish just sort of blending that a little bit further, and then I'm going to pull out my mono adhesive from Tombow, and I'm going to adhere down all of the little bits and pieces. Now, I want to make sure that I kind of keep them where they're at, and so I'm going to go slowly and really pay attention to each one just to make sure that I can get that overall placement together. Now those photos are going inside the lines right there, and then also this cluster, it's important to remember that I have to go slowly and add each little bit together because I don't really want to mess it up. I really like the way that it looks, how it is all together. So I'm just going to try to make sure that I can incorporate all of those in the same way that I have them laid out. So I've really just built this whole layering of these florals down at the bottom with them peeking out, and it really gives them that dimensional look. And I ended up really very happy with the way that that all ended up with some of the overlapping elements. Now I've pulled out the stamps from the Project Life Kit, and I'm going to use those to do sort of my title. It's not really genuinely a title because this is obviously just a monthly view in a planner, but it's sort of a pseudo title, kind of going to draw your attention over to this side of the page. I'm just going to use my black VersaFine ink. It's really good for stamping in my planner. It ends up really crisp and clean, it dries quickly, and I don't have any bleeding. Now I'm just spelling out the word every day. Now you do get to see a couple of peeks at my head, which is so awesome. But I'm trying to line up the top of each of the alphabet with that line of the box. And so that requires a little bit more, getting a little closer to the project. So that's why you're getting those awesome peeks at my head. Now I'm just going through each stamp and then I'm dabbing off the excess ink each time that I use it. Not because it's necessary, but I have mentioned to you before that I'm super messy. I know I would end up transferring smudges and smears of ink all over the place if I didn't wipe those off. And I'm just using a regular old baby wipe that I picked up at the store. It's nothing special. Just make sure that they're alcohol free. So as you can see, I'm stamping out the word every day. And that is going to be, like I said already, the pseudo title. But I'm also going to add a little bit of journaling as well. So I'm just going to take the page out of the discs, and then I'm going to pull out my self-healing mat and draw a few lines so that I can add those few words. Now what I like to do is line up with the lines on each side of the paper and then just draw them in a staggered formation. This makes it a little bit more playful. And then again, as I've talked to you about the alphabet stamps, then you don't have to worry about lining up each of the ends and then them not being perfect. This way you can just have it be fun and playful, and it looks like it was meant to be that way. So then I'm just going to finish up the rest of the title work, which is just the word May, and I am completely finished with this layout. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comment box below, and I will do my very best to get back to you. Thank you so much, and make it a great day.